Okay, so good morning, students. So am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed regarding the signal flow graph. That means how to represent a particular block diagram in the form of a signal flow graph. So I have discussed about the steps that you have to follow while drawing the signal flow graph. Okay, step number one is that in a block diagram, you have to represent all the signals by some name. Okay, that means this is the input signal and C is the output signal, but intermediate there are signals that you have to represent by some name. Okay, and you can see these are all feedback or some gains. Okay, so generally feedbacks are considered when the signal enters the input area from the output area. It's called feedback. But if a signal is added from the input to the output by some other parallel path, that is called the forward path gain. Okay, that also we have seen previously. Now if that gain is the signal does not have any block in it, that means the transfer function of that particular signal, okay, that is it is a unity gain. Okay, so now we have discussed this previously. So we have named the signals by some variables, okay, by some alphabets. Now these signals will be considered as nodes, and the transfer functions, okay, will be considered as gains along with the feedback, this unity transfer function also. Okay, so this is what we have seen yesterday. So up till here we have discussed. So how to represent a block diagram into a. So we will proceed that how to let or how to determine the transfer function of a block diagram, not by block reduction technique but by using signal flow graph. Before that, we have to discuss about few actually terms relating to the signal flow graphs. That means there are few terminologies that has to be discussed before we proceed to the procedure of determining the transfer function from a signal flow graph. So number one is the node. So all of you have understood what is a node. So we have discussed that the signals are being represented in the form of a node. Okay. Then branches. Okay. So the signal travels along a branch. So that means the signals which are nodes and branches are those connecting lines with the arrow symbol in it, which are indicated by the arrow. Okay. So they are actually getting multiplied with the gain of the branch. That means this is the branch. This line between R to E1 is a branch, and the gain of the branch is 1. Then from E1 to M1, this is a branch, and the gain of the branch is G1. Okay, so like this. Okay, then is the input node. So what is input node? Input node is the node which is represented by R. Okay, the input signal, and out, which is also called the source. And output node is the sink, which is represented by C or C dash. Okay. Then we have the path. Now what is path? Path means it is a continuous unidirectional succession of branches in the direction of the branch arrows along which no node is passed more than once. That means if you see this particular path, this is E1, M1, E2, M2, E3. That means this path, E1, M1, E2, M2, E3. This is a path. This is also a path starting from R, E1, M1, E2, M2, E3, C and C dash. This is a path. Okay. Now this is also a path E2, E1. but this is called the reverse path, okay, or backward path, okay, and this is called the forward path. Okay, so this is called the path. Now forward path. So forward path, I have told you that the entire starting from the input to the output, okay, or not only that, if there is a from the input to the output, if there is a path, okay, single path, then we call it a forward path, provided that there is no return back, okay. So that means this will not be called a path. Suppose R E1 M1 E2 then again E1. No, this is not called a path, because path means where you are starting, it will not end at that point, and in between also it will not repeat, because forward path is only starting from R E1 M1 E2. Okay, so you will call this is also a path, so E1 M1 E2. But if you consider E1 again, that means this -1, it will not be considered as a single path. Okay, so E1 M1 E2 is a single path, then E2 M2 E3 is a single path, and if you consider a forward path, entire forward path, then also this is called the forward path, because in between there is no arrow coming back. Okay, suppose this is a node R, this is suppose E1, this is E2, okay, E2, this is E3, and suppose E4. So this is represented by this arrow, and again we have an arrow like this. So at E3 the arrow is coming back. So we will call R E1, E2, E3 as a path, and it is a forward path. But we will not consider E4, because then it will not be a path. Okay, because it is coming back to it once again. Then E4 again you have to consider E3. So after E3, E4 is not considered as a path because it is returning back. So we can consider this as a path. E4, E3 is a path, but it is a backward path, and we cannot combine them. Okay. This kind of means different types of path we will encounter later on. Okay. Now loop. What is a loop? Loop means a closed path which never travels through a specific node more than once except the straight end node. Okay. For example, E1 M1 E2 E1, E1 M1 E2 E1. That means this one, E1 M1 E2 E1. This is a loop. Okay. So this particular thing is a loop where you are starting and again ending. So you are completing a cycle, completing a path. It is a loop. Another loop is E2 M2 E3 E2, E2 M2 E3 E2, and again E3 C and E3. That means this is second loop. E2 M2 E3 E2. This is one loop, second loop. So this is loop number 1. Loop number 1. This one. This is loop number 2. And E3 C and E3 is loop number 3. This is also one loop. 3 loops are there in this particular SFG. Okay. And forward path gain. What is forward path gain? Forward path gain means whenever you have a forward path like this, okay, E1, then E2, then E3, then E4. There is suppose another feedback like this, -1. So we will call the forward path as R E1, E2, E3, E4. Okay, these are forward path. So path is like this, suppose forward in this way. So this is forward path. And suppose the gains of this path, suppose this is 1, this is G1, this is G2, this is G3. So gain of the forward path will be, you have to multiply 1 into G1 into G2 into G3. So it is G1, G2, G3. This forward path has a gain of G1, G2, G3. So in our case, in this particular SFG, we have only one forward path as per the, in this figure, only one forward path starting from here to here. Okay, from R to C dash. Now what are the gains? This is one gain, this is one gain, again 1, again G2, again 1, again G3, again 1. So here also the forward path gain is G1, G2, G3. Okay. Wait.
Sir.
G1, G2, G3. This one.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, I was asking, sir, we have to note down, sir, every single diagram, or sir, these diagrams are given in the ebook which you have provided, sir.
Which one you are talking about? This one for the exam?
No, sir. The diagrams which you are just teaching, sir.
I will share this in the Google Classroom.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I will share the PPT, sir, because I have shared all the PPTs before. Have you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will also share this one. And I am also using the pen on the, you can say, red color, blue color, green color. Okay. So these changes might not be there in the PPT, but this lecture will be uploaded in the YouTube. So you can also visit that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So have you understood the forward path gain? This one, G1, G2, G3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is one forward path, and whatever the gains are on the signal, this path, because every branch has a gain, as I've told you. And this is a forward path. One forward path is there in this case. There can be more than one forward path. So the gains will be the product of all the gains. The overall gain of the forward path will be the product of all the gains in the branches, which are within the forward path. The branches which comprise of the forward path, which make the forward path, you have to multiply all the gains of the branches. Okay. Because it is very similar to here. Here also, if you multiply, suppose the summation point is not there, and these two summation points are not there, then if two blocks are side by side in series, then also we multiply. Similarly, here also we have to multiply. Okay. Then loop gain. In loop also we have to find the gain. Okay. Because here we have to, first of all, we have to identify, whenever you proceed with a problem where the question is that find the transfer function or determine the transfer function of a complex block diagram using signal flow graph. Okay. So, and in the exam, if it is not mentioned, if it is mentioned signal flow graph, then you have to go for signal flow graph. If it is mentioned that you have to go for block reduction technique, you have to go for block reduction technique, because in block reduction technique generally less complicated block diagram will be given in the question. For signal flow graph, a little bit complicated block diagram will be given. But if in the exam nothing is given, only told that you have to determine the transfer function from this block diagram. You have to very carefully understand the question. And if you conclude that there is no technique mentioned, that which technique you have to apply, then you can apply any technique. If you wish that SFG will be faster for you, you can solve it much more quicker, then you can go for the SFG. Okay. So the different steps. Now, since you have understood what is a node, what is a branch, what is a forward path, what is a loop. So how to solve this transfer function problem? First of all, you have to identify how many forward paths are there. Number one. Then you have to identify, then you have to calculate the gain of the forward path. Okay. Next, you have to identify how many loops are there. Then you have to calculate the gain of the loops. So how to calculate the gain of the loops? Very similar to the previous one. Here, this is one loop, loop 1, which I have shown in green color. So here, what are the paths which are making the loops? E1, first loop is E1, M1, E2, and again E1. So this is loop number 1. So E1. So what is the gain of E1 M1? G1. What is the gain of M1 E2? 1. Okay. Now what is the gain of E1 E2 E1? -1. This is 1 actually. So that means G1 into 1 into -1. So it is minus G1. For loop 2, this one, the gain will be minus G2. And for loop 3, what will be the gain? Anyone?
Minus G3.
Yes, minus G3. Good. Minus G3. So these are the gains of the loops. Okay. So loop gain. So loop gain of loop number 1 is minus G1, loop number 2 is minus G2, loop number 3 is minus G2. Now comes the concept of touching loop. Now this is also need to be considered because there is a formula called the Masson-Gain formula where these touching loops and non-touching loops also need to be considered because the formula has this criteria.
Sir, please show the show the previous slide, sir. Sir, please show previous slide, sir.
This one?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. So touching loop. So what is a touching loop? Touching loop means if there are two loops like this, I can show in the problem itself. In this case, okay. So wait. Okay, so 3 loops are there, loop 1, 2, 3. Now if you see over here, in the loop 1, which is starting from E1, M1, E2 and again M2, and the second loop is starting from E2, M2, E3 and again E2. So this is a common node. That means if the two loops are having a node common, that means they are touching. So loop 1 and loop 2 are touching. Then loop 3 and loop 2 are also touching, isn't it? They are touching loops. But loop 1 and loop 3, they are non-touching loops. Why? Because they are not having any node as common node. Okay, so they are not touching. So there is a concept of touching loop, there is a concept of non-touching loop. And in touching loop also you have to calculate the gain. Okay, so what is the gain of the touching loop? Your touching loop will be just loop 1 and loop 2 if they are touching. So if loop 1 is having a gain of -1 and loop 2 is having a gain of -2, so we will just multiply them, it will be G1, G2. Gain of touching loop. And gain of non-touching loop, G1, G3. Okay. Now you have understood that what is a forward path. You have understood what is a forward path gain. You have understood what is a loop. We have understood what is a loop gain. You have understood what are not touching loops and non-touching loops. And gain will be calculated accordingly. Okay. So these are the different terminologies that we were discussing.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I was asking the formula is same in all the loops, sir. The gain formula, sir.
Gain formula, multiplication.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And touching loop and non-touching loop and forward loop means every loop this is same formula, no, sir?
See, whenever you have to find the gain of any loop or any path, so any path or any loop is made up of branches, isn't it? Small branches, because these are branches. This is a branch. This is a branch. This is another branch. Okay, and this is another branch. So every branch has some gain. So if this is a loop, E1, M1, E2 and again E1. So if this is a loop, so the loops are having branches. So this branch, whatever gain is on the branch, you have to multiply that. Okay, what you will see that if there is a loop, so the branches, above the branches there will be gain. If there is no gain given, then put it 1, unity gain. And if you have the gain of all the branches, so multiply the gains. In the forward path also, how many branches are there? R1, E1 is one branch. E1, M1 is one branch. Because we are writing in this way. We are writing R1, E1, then M1, then E2, M2, E3, C and C dash. This is one forward path. So whatever is on the forward path, whatever is on the branches, you multiply them. That's it. Same formula. जब गेन को निकालना है तो ब्रांचेस के ऊपर जितना जितना भी गेन है उस सबको मल्टीप्लाई करो तो ओवरऑल गेन निकल जाएगा. ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So it will be more clear for you if you see the example. Okay. One example I am showing you. So first of all, you have to know that there is a formula which is called the Mason's gain formula. So this formula is used for solving or determining the transfer function of a system, okay, using the SFG, signal flow graph. That means you have constructed the signal flow graph from a block diagram. एक ब्लॉक डायग्राम है, तुमने एक सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ उसको कंस्ट्रक्ट कर दिया. नाउ व्हाट टू डू, हाउ टू सॉल्व द ट्रांसफर फंक्शन, देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई दिस Mason's gain formula. So once the SFG of the system has been constructed and the different components defined as above, that means you know what is a forward, you will write down that how many forward paths are there, forward path 1, forward path 2, what is the gain of the forward path 1, what is the gain of the forward path 2, then you have written. Then you will write down how many loops are there. Suppose there are 4 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the gain of loop 1, what is the gain of loop 2, what is the gain of loop 3, what is the gain of loop 4, written down. Step number 3, how many touching loops are there, you will write down. How many non-touching loops are there, you will write down. And accordingly you will find the gain. Then you have to apply this one Mason's gain formula. Okay. So it is told there, once the SFG has been constructed and the different components have been defined as above, the Mason's gain formula can be used to calculate the overall closed loop transfer function of the system. So this is the formula. Formula is this one. It is T is the overall transfer function. Overall gain means overall transfer function. That means C by R. That is C by R. So that is T. Okay, it is nothing but C by R. The formula is 1 by delta summation P K delta K, summation is from up to 1 to K. Okay, so this is the formula. Now what is K, what is P, what is delta, that you have to know. Okay. Now K means number of forward paths. So that means how many forward paths are there. This is the step 1 you have to write down. So you have to note, that is why I was telling that first step is how many forward paths are there, second step is how many loops are there, then how many touching loops, non-touching loops, then find the gain of all the different paths. Okay, so number 1 is very important now, forward path. So how many forward paths are there and what are the gain of the forward path. So now how many forward paths are there, that is K. Pk is gain of the kth forward path. Suppose there are 3 forward paths, K1, K2, K3. So what is gain of forward path K1, that is P1, gain of forward path P2, K2, gain of forward path P3, K3. Okay, so these are the gains. So that means what is K you have understood. एक SFG में कितना फॉरवर्ड पाथ है वो K रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, और PK मतलब हर एक फॉरवर्ड पाथ का गेन होगा P1, P2, P3 up to PK. Okay, K means number of forward path. अब डेल्टा जो है, डेल्टा is a little bit longer. This you have to calculate. यहाँ पर क्या है, यहाँ पर लूप के बारे में है. This is all our loops. So delta is all our loops. Delta is 1 minus sum of all the loop gains. That means suppose there are 3 loops. In our case we have 3 loops, loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Okay, so we will add all the loop gains. Okay, so let us start with the problem, then it will be easier for you. Suppose this one. Okay, same thing, same problem we are dealing with. The problem which you have just shown, the SFG which we have just drawn, we will use that one only because we have not solved it. So we will take that example. So this is the example which we were discussing. So there is only one forward path. How many forward paths are there? 1. So the value of k will be 1. So what is the value of pk? That is p1, not pk, because it will be k is 1, so it is p1. Okay. So what is the gain of p1? 1 g1, 1 g2, 1 g3, 1. So it is g1, g2, g3. Okay. Now we have to find out delta. Okay. We have to find out delta. So delta means the formula is 1 minus sum of all the loop gains. So how many loops are there? Loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Gain of loop 1, g1 minus g1. Gain of loop 2 minus g2. Gain of loop 3 minus g3. So formula is 1 minus sum of all the loop gains. That means minus g1 minus g2 minus g3. So this is the formula, sum of all the loop gains. Plus, then we have plus. Okay, plus. So after that, sum of gain products of all possible combinations of pairs of non-touching loop. Sum of the gain products. Sum of the gain products. That means how many non-touching loops, pairs of non-touching loop. So touching loop is not important over here. You have to find out the non-touching loop. So pairs of non-touching means, suppose in this case there are two non-touching loops. Yes, two non-touching loops. Loop 1 and loop 3 are non-touching loop. Non-touching loops. So how many pairs are there? Only one pair is there. Only one pair. एक ही जोड़ा है. अगर मान लो ऐसा होता कि यहाँ पर भी एक और होता, ठीक है, -1 G4 ये और कुछ है, मान लो कि ये C डबल डैश है, तो ये चौथा वाला जो होता, सो loop 1, loop 2 and loop 4. So there are 4 non-touching loops. तो पेयर क्या क्या होता? एक होता L1 L3, L1 L3 एक पेयर होता, L3 L4 एक पेयर होता और L1 L4 एक पेयर होता. So there would have been 3 pairs. Okay, but in our case we don't have 3 loops. We have 3 non-touching loops. We have only 2 non-touching loops. So there will be only one pair. Only one pair.
सर नॉन टचिंग लूप सर एक होगा ना सर?
नहीं, दो नॉन टचिंग होगा ना, L1 और L2. नॉन टचिंग L1 एंड L3. हाँ, मतलब एक ही दो नॉन टचिंग लूप है, मतलब पेयर एक ही है, एक ही पेयर है. नॉन टचिंग लूप का पेयर एक है. अगर मान लो ये तीसरा वाला होता ही नहीं, ये वाला होता ही नहीं, मान लो कि ये वाला होता ही नहीं, तो नॉन टचिंग लूप 0 होता. तो देयर विल बी नो नॉन टचिंग लूप, इजंट इट?
यस सर.
हाँ, सो एक तो नॉन टचिंग नहीं कर सकते. नॉन टचिंग मतलब दो रहने का जरूरत है, कम से कम 2 तो होना चाहिए ना, कि 2 टच नहीं कर रहा है. एक खुद के साथ तो टच नहीं करेगा ना. तो अगर एक लूप होगा तो टचिंग लूप और नॉन टचिंग लूप कोई भी काम में नहीं आएगा. अगर 2 है तो हम देखेंगे कि ये 2 जो है वो टचिंग है या नॉन टचिंग है. जैसे L1 और L2 टचिंग है, L2 और L3 टचिंग है, लेकिन नॉन टचिंग कौन कौन है? L1 और L3 नॉन टचिंग है. तो कितना जोड़ा है? एक. अगर L4 होता, L4 भी यहाँ पर होता जो मैंने दिखाया था यहाँ पे, तो फिर 3 नॉन टचिंग लूप होता, 1 3 4, और 1 और 3 को एक पेयर बनाएंगे, 3 और 4 को एक पेयर बनाएंगे, और 1 और 4 को एक पेयर बनाएंगे.
यस सर.
लेकिन यहाँ पर जो है वो सिर्फ 1 और 3 ही नॉन टचिंग है, तो एक ही पेयर है. तो इसलिए फॉर्मूला होगा, यहाँ पर देखो, फॉरवर्ड पाथ एक ही है ना, k is 1. फॉरवर्ड पाथ गेन इज G1 G2 G3. हाउ मेनी लूप्स आर देयर? 3 लूप्स आर देयर. द लूप्स गेन्स आर -G1 -G2 -G3. ओके, अब देखो, there is only one pair of non-touching loop. Okay, that is, this is loop 1 and this is loop 3. So the gain product of the non-touching loops are G1 G3. मतलब कि जो non-touching loop जो है, एक का है माइनस G1 है, एक का है माइनस G3 है, तो इसको प्रोडक्ट निकाल के माइनस G1 इंटू माइनस G3 मतलब G1 G3. Okay, so the formula will be then, and there अच्छा, वो डेल्टा वाला तो खत्म नहीं हुआ, डेल्टा वाला भी चल रहा है, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने 1 को लिखा है, फिर सम ऑफ ऑल द लूप गेन्स लिखा है, फिर सम ऑफ द गेन प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ऑल द पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप्स. तो यहाँ पर हम लिखेंगे G1 G3.
सर क्वेश्चन वाला डायग्राम एक बार दिखाइए ना सर, डायग्राम क्वेश्चन का,
ये वाला.
ओके सर, ओके सर, हो गया सर, हो गया.
ठीक है, तो फॉर्मूला जो था, ये देखो, यहाँ पर था 1 फिर माइनस फिर प्लस फिर माइनस फिर प्लस, ऐसे चलता रहेगा कॉम्बिनेशन में. ठीक है, प्लस माइनस माइनस प्लस माइनस प्लस माइनस प्लस. सो पहले वाला माइनस में क्या था, सम ऑफ ऑल द लूप गेन्स, सो दैट वी हैव रिटन, प्लस द प्रोडक्ट द समेशन ऑफ द पेयर ऑफ द लूप गेन्स टोटल. सो पेयर ऑफ लूप मींस नॉन टचिंग लूप, सॉरी, पेयर ऑफ नॉन टचिंग लूप्स, तो एक ही नॉन टचिंग लूप है, माइनस सम ऑफ द गेन प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ऑल द पॉसिबल ट्रिपलेट्स नॉन टचिंग लूप, ट्रिपलेट्स. तो यहाँ पर तो ट्रिपलेट है नहीं, क्योंकि तीन का जोड़ा है नहीं, क्योंकि तीसरा नॉन टचिंग लूप है ही नहीं, तो जो भी है ये जीरो हो जाएगा, तो बाद में जो है वो जीरो. सो इफ दिस इज जीरो देन ऑब्वियसली एवरीथिंग विल बी जीरो. ओके, so our delta will be this one. So if you calculate, it will be 1 plus G1 plus G2 plus G3 plus G1 G3. ये हो गया डेल्टा. ठीक है, ये डेल्टा. इसको सॉल्व करेंगे तो क्या आएगा, सेम थिंग, 1 प्लस G1 प्लस G2 प्लस G3 प्लस G1 G3. ओके, अब नेक्स्ट क्या है, डेल्टा के. डेल्टा के मतलब द वैल्यू ऑफ डेल्टा फॉर दैट SFG which is not a part of the K forward path. That means in the SFG, first step was Mason-Kane formula. First step was find the number of forward paths. K is the number of forward path. Then gain of the forward path. मतलब कितने फॉरवर्ड पाथ है पहले निकालना है. अगर एक के ज्यादा है, अगर दो है, तो हर एक का गेन निकालना है. ठीक है, फिर डेल्टा निकालना है नॉन टचिंग लूप्स का, जितने पेयर होगा, ट्रिपलेट होगा, जितना भी, उसका डेल्टा निकालेंगे. फोर्थ जो स्टेप है वो है डेल्टा फिर से निकालना पड़ेगा, लेकिन हर एक फॉरवर्ड पाथ के लिए, मतलब वैल्यू ऑफ डेल्टा फॉर दैट SFG व्हिच इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ द kth फॉरवर्ड पाथ. दैट मींस यहां पर जो है हमने क्या किया था, यहां पर ओवर हियर वी हैव टेकन द फॉरवर्ड पाथ एंड वी हैव कंसीडर्ड द loop gains of the loops, we have added them, then we have taken the touching loops, non-touching loop, we have done all these things. Okay, fourth one is, if there are more than one forward path, then we have to calculate the delta. Okay, where the loops which have considered, that means the value of part of delta of SFG is not a part of the k forward path. मान लो यहाँ पर कितने फॉरवर्ड पाथ, एक ही है. Delta of K was that you have to calculate delta for which is not a part of this forward path. अब जितना भी लूप है, all the loops are a part of this forward path. So there is no option that we can calculate delta once again, which is where all the loops should not be of this forward path. इसको मैं ऐसा समझाता हूँ.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I cannot understand about delta K.
Delta K, sir, I am explaining. Delta K. This one, though, last one. Yes, I am explaining
Yes.
that. I am explaining that. I have not completed. Okay. Suppose, in our case, we have only one forward path. Okay. We have only one forward path. This is one node. This is one node. Okay, this only one forward path is there, like this. another node. I'm not writing them. Okay, just another node like this. And suppose there is also another forward path like this. This can also be called a forward path. So this is suppose A, or this is R, suppose this is A, this is B nodes. Okay, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is C. Okay, so how many forward paths will be there? R, A, B, C, D, E, C. Again another forward path will be there, R, then B, then C, D, E, C. Another forward path will be there, R, then B, then C, then D, E, C. R, B, B, फिर D, मतलब कि ये दोनों लूप को लेंगे, फिर E, फिर C. चौथा वाला होगा R, B, D, C. R, B, D, C. So here we have K equals to 4. Okay, 4 forward paths are there. Now delta K will be that you have to calculate delta K. Delta K का मतलब है कि डेल्टा K जो है वो आपको डेल्टा ही निकालना है, लेकिन डेल्टा K मतलब क्या, 4 है तो मतलब डेल्टा 1 निकालना है, डेल्टा 2 निकालना है, डेल्टा 3 निकालना है, डेल्टा 4 निकालना है. You have to calculate 4 deltas in our case. Where delta 1 you have to calculate delta. डेल्टा का फॉर्मूला क्या है, वो पहले जो मैंने देखा था हम लोगों ने, 1 minus sum of all the loop gains plus sum of the loops of the pair of non-touching minus sum of the loops of the pair of non-touching, not pair, triplets of non-touching. So पूरा का डेल्टा निकालना है. So delta we have to calculate, but condition is the loops which are in the first forward path will not be considered. That means पहले एक डेल्टा तो निकालना ही है, पहले वाला एक डेल्टा निकाल लेंगे जिसमें जितना भी फॉरवर्ड पाथ है, जितना भी लूप्स है, जितना भी नॉन टचिंग लूप्स है, एवरीथिंग यू हैव टू कंसीडर एंड यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट. सेकेंड जो है डेल्टा के, मतलब अगर 4 फॉरवर्ड पाथ होता तो डेल्टा 1, डेल्टा 2, डेल्टा 3, डेल्टा 4. हियर आल्सो वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट डेल्टा. दिस इज द फोर्थ कंडीशन. हियर कैलकुलेट डेल्टा, बट इफ यू आर कैलकुलेटिंग डेल्टा 1, then you have to calculate delta by not taking the loops which are in the first forward path, because this is delta 1. so first forward path मतलब ये वाला. तो इसके साथ जितना भी लूप्स है उसको हम जो टच कर रहे हैं उसको नहीं लेंगे. तो तीनों लूप ही वहां पर टच कर रहा है तो तीनों लूप ही नहीं लेंगे. ठीक है, तो फिर ये 0 हो जाएगा. डेल्टा 2 में, डेल्टा 2 we have to calculate delta once again. Here also we have to calculate delta, but make sure that there should not be a loop which is not touching the second forward path. सेकेंड फॉरवर्ड पाथ में जितना भी लूप्स है वो टच नहीं करेंगे. मान लो कि इससे अगर मैं, एक मिनट, हाँ मान लो ये फिगर अगर प्रॉब्लमेटिक है तो मैं दूसरा दिखाता हूँ. एक मिनट, इससे सिंपल दिखाता हूँ मैं. मान लो कि और एक फॉरवर्ड, ये एक फॉरवर्ड पाथ है, मान लो दूसरा एक और एक फॉरवर्ड पाथ है, ऐसा एक फॉरवर्ड पाथ है. यहाँ पर एक लूप है, यहाँ पर एक लूप है, here also we have loops. Okay, suppose like this, and it is having, say this is having 1, this is x, this is w, this is y, this is z, this is v. Okay, sorry, this one is v, suppose. So in this case how many forward paths are there? In this case we have multiple, we have 2 forward paths, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो है फीडबैक जो नेगेटिव दिशा पर है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हम लोग 2 फॉरवर्ड पाथ है. Wait for 1 minute. Time is the time. Okay, so I'm wrapping up quickly. क्योंकि डेल्टा के ऑब्वियसली इसको समझना है थोड़ा सा, ये टाइम लगता है डेल्टा के में. Okay, so how many forward paths are there? Path 1, that is R, A, B, C, D, E, C. Okay, so R, A, B, C, D, E, C. And second is R, X, W, Y, Z, V, C. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर एक लूप है, लूप 1 है, यहाँ पर लूप 2 है, यहाँ पर लूप 3 है, यहाँ पर लूप 4 है. तो पहले वाला जो फॉरवर्ड पाथ है, मान लो कि ये वाला R, A, B, C, D, E, C, ऊपर वाला, तो ऊपर में जितना भी हम लोग लूप्स है उस लूप को कंसीडर नहीं करेंगे, नीचे वाले फॉरवर्ड पाथ का लूप कंसीडर करेंगे. तो उसमें नीचे वाले लूप का फॉरवर्ड पाथ को कंसीडर करेंगे. और जब डेल्टा 2 निकालेंगे, देन वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट दिस डेल्टा, दैट मींस 1 माइनस लूप गेन्स. तब क्या करेंगे, डेल्टा 2 में फॉरवर्ड पाथ 2 के साथ जितना भी लूप टच कर रहा है वो हम नहीं लेंगे, दैट लूप्स विल नॉट टेक. सो विच लूप वी विल टेक? द लूप्स व्हिच आर इन फॉरवर्ड पाथ 1. Okay, with the loops which are in forward path 1. So that loops we will take. How many touching loops are there, how many non-touching loops are there? That delta you have to calculate. Now delta 3 is not there because we have only 2 paths. Suppose we have another path like this. Another path is there. Here also loops are there. Okay. So in that case we will consider that forward path also. Okay. In that case, when you calculate delta 1, then this forward path you will not take. You will calculate the delta value with the अदर फॉरवर्ड पाथ. मान लो कि तीन फॉरवर्ड पाथ है. पहले वाला फॉरवर्ड पाथ के लिए जब डेल्टा के निकालना है, के डेल्टा 1 निकालना है, तो वो फॉरवर्ड पाथ छोड़ के बाकी के फॉरवर्ड पाथों में हम लोग लूप्स को कंसीडर करेंगे. अब डेल्टा 2 जब निकालेंगे, तब दूसरा वाला जो फॉरवर्ड पाथ है उसके ऊपर जितना भी लूप है वो नहीं निकालेंगे. मतलब जिस डेल्टा को हम निकालेंगे उस पाथ को छोड़ के बाकी का लूप्स को हम देखेंगे. दिस इज डेल्टा के. So in our case, we have only one forward path. So the value of delta for that part of SFG, which is not a part of the kth forward path. So in our case, we have only one forward path. So if we want to find delta 1, because del k is 1, so we can find delta 1. Obviously, we will go for delta 1. But delta 1 will be 0 because condition is we have to find delta once again, but which the loops should be not be part of k path, matlab first path. So we have only one forward path, so all the loops are touching the forward path. All the loops are touching the forward path. So that means it is not possible to calculate the delta for forward path 1 and we will neglect all the loops of the forward path 1. So if we neglect all the loops of the forward path 1, बाहर कोई loop है ही नहीं. Okay, so it will be not 0, it will be 1. The value will be 1. 1 minus 0, because 1 is there. 1 minus 0. इसलिए यहाँ पर है delta 1. Since all the loops are touching the only forward path, so it will be only 1. So delta is 1. Now the total transfer function will be as per the equation. ये पर जो फॉर्मूला है, अब फॉर्मूला को हम देखेंगे. फॉर्मूला क्या है? 1 by delta. So 1 by delta. Then summation of P1 delta 1. अब एक ही है, summation तो लेंगे नहीं, only P1 delta 1. This is our formula for this case. So 1 by delta P1 delta 1. So what is P1? P1 is this one. G1, G2, G3 is P1. Okay. Delta is this one. This is delta. So and delta 1 is 1. Okay. So formula क्या था? 1 by delta P1 delta 1. तो मतलब 1 by delta P1 delta 1. So this is our transfer function. Got it? Have you understood the delta k part now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there will be little bit confusion. So don't worry. Since today we don't have time, so in the next class I will show you another example where you will find more than one forward path. Then I will show you the example where delta 1, delta 2 is calculated. Then it will be clearer to you. Got it? So I think you have got some basic knowledge of Mason's-Gain formula and how to calculate the transfer function or evaluate the transfer function. So you can see it is quite easier because in block इसको अगर block reduction technique में डालेंगे तो बहुत time लग जाएगा, ठीक है ना? तो using this SFG and Mason-Gain formula, we can solve many critical, problems of block reduction. You can say transfer function reduction without using block reduction. Okay. So have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so no problem. I mean, in the next class also I will show a few other examples and I will share the notes, this particular note in the Google Classroom and the lecture also in the YouTube. Okay. Okay, so then thank you then students. And before leaving, happy Diwali and happy Chhath Puja to all.
Thank you, sir.
Same to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.